One company that went public today via SPAC is looking to change the game for military aviation. Merlin Labs has developed AI-powered flight technology software designed to automate flight operations from takeoff to landing, air to sky, anywhere, doing anything. Let's look at Merlin shares. Again, a reverse merger with a SPAC, down 9%. Let's bring in Merlin Labs CEO Matt George. Good to have you, Matt.
Great to be here. Thank you so much.
Listen, SPACs are different from IPOs. People often just sell the stock on a SPAC day. So I get that. But tell me what you think about the experience and why did you go via SPAC?
We have built now the leading platform for bringing autonomy and AI to military aircraft, as evidenced by our large contract with U.S. military and government. We are going public now to go accelerate that journey and make sure that we're getting those capabilities in the hands of the warfighter. And going public and being in the public market allows us to do that much more quickly and much more easily.
So was the SPAC the preferred way? I mean, you did get $200 million in gross proceeds.
We did. So it's been a great process for us. Multiple ways to go out in the public market. But for us, our ability to go out via SPAC.
Is that your chief financial officer, the tiny little one right there?
He is. He's our chief compliance and NAP officer.
Is that the cutest? That is Matt's son, Finn. Too pinchy, too adorable. It is a big day, but our viewers love to hear about military technology that is changing the entire scape of military. So tell us exactly what Merlin Pilot can do and how, I'm curious to know, is it different from the autopilot systems out there today?
You can think of the Merlin Pilot as a pilot, just not a human one. So we're taking everything that's happening in a pilot's brain, putting that into software, and using the best of AI and also very traditional flight controls to bring that autonomy capability both to existing aircraft like the KC-135 and the C-130 that we were just talking about, but also to brand new aircraft that are totally unmanned, uncrewed, things like fighter jets.
Okay, so this works with or without a human pilot?
Correct. So it can either be an adjunct to a human pilot, so essentially like a co-pilot, or fly an airplane totally on its own, which is stuff that we're developing right now.
What can it anticipate?
So our system goes from takeoff to touchdown fully autonomously and can do things like talking to air traffic control and making its own set of decisions. So for our system that is up there flying, it is in control of the airplane and the human is simply monitoring the system.
This is a totally random question, but it jumps into my head. Can it speak different languages yet?
We have not had it speak different languages yet, but we have test facilities both in the U.S. and New Zealand, so it's had to get pretty good at accents.
Oh, I've got a New Zealand accent. Oh, that's interesting. Your largest military contract that you're just talking about involves adding the Merlin Pilot to autonomous features to Lockheed's military C-130J cargo plane. What will it add to these brilliant pilots who already maneuvered these gigantic planes?
We're super proud to partner with U.S. Air Force and U.S. SOCOM to be the prime contractor to bring autonomy to the largest fleet of military aircraft in the world, which is the C-130J. We're bringing autonomy to that fleet to aid and provide an adjunct to those human pilots to make them much more capable and make them more of a mission commander versus having to go physically fly the airplane. Another piece of work that we're really proud of is the extension of that contract into the KC-135, where we're partnering with Air Mobility Command to bring that to the refueling tankers, which are making everything possible out, particularly in Iran right now.
That obviously warrants me bringing up the fact that last week there was a terrible tragedy over the skies near Iran when a refueling plane, a U.S. refueling plane, suffered a tragedy, went down, and 6 service members aboard were killed in the crash. It was over Iraq. If Merlin Pilot, I keep calling it Pirate, Merlin Pilot were to be deployed on refueling aircraft, could it possibly have done something to prevent that? I know it's a total, counterfactual, but I'm asking.
The crew members and the aircraft that were lost over Iraq, 3 from the Ohio National Guard and 3 from MacDill Air Force Base, we're truly doing heroic work, making sure that we were able to safely fight out in Iran and make sure that everyone had fuel, everyone was supported, and truly a tragic accident. We will let the Air Force conclude their accident investigation on that particular incident, but broadly, particularly for the KC-135 fleet, those young crew members, often in their late 20s and early 30s, are having to go out and perform sometimes 40-hour missions in order to go refuel fighter jets and other assets in very difficult circumstances. anything we can do at Merlin and anything that the United States Air Force can do to provide those crew members more support, more cognitive support, and more autonomy to make them more effective and to also make them safer is an absolute imperative that we must undertake.
Yeah, our airmen and women are superhuman. The fact that they can conduct these long flights and stay alert and on it and complete missions is just so impressive. Let's talk about the commercial possibilities here. The FAA has been kind of cautious on autonomy. Where are you in the certification process for commercial jets?
We were really proud to announce, a little over 2 years ago that we had the world's first civil certification basis for takeoff to touchdown autonomy. We still have an active certification program with the US FAA and the New Zealand CAA. We announced a couple major certification milestones, and we anticipate getting to full certification before anybody else in the industry. So we're really proud of that. There is no certified takeoff to touchdown aircraft in existence today, and we're fighting really hard to be the first.
These operating systems are fascinating across the board, but yours, you want to be the operating system for autonomous flight of record.
We do.
What else do you need to do? You just raised $200 million. What are you going to use the money for?
We're using that money to make sure that we're getting the Merlin pilot in the hands of the brave men and women who are flying out there with our U.S. Armed Services in order to make them more effective, but also to gain hours and experience on the system, which will enable us to then go and add to new aircraft, new capabilities, and new missions. So that way, we're starting with the C-130 and the KC-135, branching out to more and more aircraft, and eventually we'll make the jump over to civil aircraft as well.
Let's pop up the stock, because while Matt has been speaking, it has completely turned around. It has erased all of the 6% of losses there. Was it 9%? Earlier it was 9%. And at the moment, it is up 2.7%. I told you we have a very motivated investor audience who needs to hear from the founder and CEO like you. So what is the most important message you want to send about what you and Merlin plan to do in the future?
The most important message for us is that American air power matters, and making autonomy for American aircraft really matters. And the world is at a very important inflection point. And we're really proud to make sure that we are leading America in delivering autonomous air power, not just for us, but our allies around the world.
I thank you for anything you can do to keep all pilots safe. They're amazing.
Thank you.
Great to see you. And now the stock is up 4%. So just, you can hang out on the set if you want.
Cool.
Now it's at 5%.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Nice sales job. Now you got to come through with the real meat. Thanks very much.
Cool. Thank you so much.